What's happening, ITP? Paranormal Phil here. So glad you joined me as we take another look into the paranormal. So before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when I post my next video. Also, be sure to share this video with all your paranormal friends. So before we get started, down in the description down below, there will be a PayPal link where you can donate to support Into the Paranormal to help me make more videos such as this. Also, you can donate there to help me bring Talk in the Night back on the airwaves to bring you great guests, great content, and all around great topics. So be sure to donate and support Into the Paranormal and Talk in the Night. So let's get into the topic of this video. All right, so this story comes from Popular Mechanics. Pentagon has off-world vehicles not made on this earth. And that would go along with people's thoughts on such UFO technology at places such as Area 51, most notably Patterson Wright Airfield, Air Force Base, Area 52, which many people don't know about. And I'm sure our government has this technology all over the place. But let's get into this story. And as you can see here, these are screenshots of the UFO captured by those Navy pilots last year, 2019. So let's get into what the story says. For years, the U.S. government has repeatedly changed its tune regarding its official involvement with UFO research. As recently as February, a Pentagon spokesman told Popular Mechanics that while a government program did investigate unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, which when a lot of us hear UAVs, we think of the U.S. military drones, which I'm going to click on this here real quick. Unmanned aerial vehicles, as you can see, if I can get it to scroll down, if it wants to. Well, for some reason, this is not wanting to scroll down, but let's get back to that story. Anyways, and other unexplained aerial phenomenon for some time last decade. Funding dried up in 2012 for this program, or so they say. But when Popular Mechanics thoroughly investigated the covert program, multiple sources said it is still ongoing to this day. And I believe that there is still research and re-engineering, reverse engineering UFO technology to this day. Now, a new report in the New York Times, which I'm going to click on that shortly here, confirms these accounts. The government's UFO unit currently resides in the Office of Naval Intelligence, where it deals with classified matters. Per the reports, even though the unit itself isn't classified. So they're not classifying the unit that is studying this stuff, but they're going to classify the technology. The Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force is meant to standardize collection and reporting on sightings of UAVs and publicly divulge at least some of its findings twice a year, according to the Times. So we're getting a little more and more each year on what our government knows about UFO technology and everything like that. In June, a Senate committee report, which I'm going to leave a link in the description for this report, where you can read it for yourself. The Senate authorized appropriations for fiscal year 2021 for the task force, supporting its efforts to rival any links that unidentified aerial phenomenon have to, firstly, foreign governments and the threat they may pose to the U.S. military assets and installations. So, I mean, think about this. There were reports of Nazi Germany scientists that were working on reverse engineering UFO technology during World War II. Now, some of those scientists came to work for the U.S. after the war. So, did they continue their work? I'm going to leave that up to you to decide. But let's get into this. Is from the report itself. Like I said, I'm going to leave a description and a link below. The committee remains concerned that there is no unified, comprehensive process within the federal government for collecting and analyzing intelligence on unidentified aerial phenomenon, despite the potential threat. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to let you read it for yourself. But what they're kind of saying here is that other governments might have the same technology that we have, and we're frightened. But they don't want to put that out there. Like I said, this is just my opinion on this, but let's get into more of this. Now, Senator Marco Rubio, who chairs the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, told a CBS affiliate in Florida that he's most interested to learn from the task force who's responsible for unidentified aircraft spotted over American military bases, such as Area 51. Rubio said he hopes the Chinese or Russians or some other adversary hasn't made some sort of technology leap that allows them to conduct this sort of activity. Now, for a while, Area 51 was a secret, or the government tried to make it a secret. But with the technology of satellites and everything like that, we were able to zoom in and we were able to confirm the existence of the base, even though they kept saying it didn't exist. Well, our government had to come out and say, well, the base does exist. Now, at that point, could we have had this technology there, and before they announced that it was declassified base, even though it's a top secret base, nobody can get in there, that they moved that stuff, that kind of stuff from that base to another. It's quite possible. Now, like I said, back in 1947, I believe it was, when the Roswell crash happened, I believe some of that crash site went to Area 51, but I believe a lot of it also went to Patterson Wright Airfield, Air Force. If I can talk tonight, Air Force Base, as well as some other top secret installations. Now, if I get a knock on the door and it's MIB, I'll keep going. I'll record it. But let's get back into the story. To me, that to me, Rubio said, is a national security risk and should be looked into. Uh, we should be looking into it. Now, of course, Harry Reid, a former Nevada senator who was instrumental in funding the original UFO program, which I believe has led to Donald Trump's Space Force. It's kind of coincidental that they have this program going on, and now we have a Space Force. Technology has advanced relatively quickly. Now, it might not seem like it, but as far as time goes, the technology in this world, in this country, everywhere has, just about everywhere, has exponentially sped up. Now, Harry Reid, former Nevada Senate funding the UFO program, told the Times, which I'm going to leave a link to that story, that he believes that crashes of objects unknown origin may have occurred, that retrieved material should be studied from this article. And this is what he said. After looking into this, I came to the conclusion that there were reports, some were substantive, some were not so substantive, that there were actual materials that the government and private sector had in their possession. Now, pay attention to that statement right there, because it's going to come into play in this next segment here. An earlier version of the Times article said Reid believed crashes from other worlds had indeed occurred, and that retrieved material had been studied secretly for decades, often by aerospace companies under government contract. The Times has corrected Reid's account, and Reid has since clarified his statement in a tweet below. We're going to get into that statement because it contradicts what he said in an earlier version of the Times article. He said in a tweet, I have no knowledge, he's saying he has no knowledge, and I have never suggested that the federal government or entities has unidentified flying object or debris from other worlds. I have constantly said we must stick to science, not fairy tales about little green men. So what are they really hiding? And I don't know why it took me to Twitter. Didn't want that. So what are they really hiding? And here's that story in the Times article. I'm just going to read this segment from it. Like I said, there's going to be a link in the description below. Mr. Reid, the former Democratic senator from Nevada who pushed for funding the earlier UFO program when it was the majority leader, said they believe the crashes of objects of unknown origin may have occurred, and that the retrieved material should be studied. Like I said, read earlier. And of course, like I said, it's in this article, what I just read from this article from Popular Mechanics. Now, this is astrophysicist Eric Davis, who consulted with the Pentagon's original UFO program, now works for the Defense Contractor Aerospace Corporation. Uh, and stuff like that. This is from him. As we said previously, the Department of Defense and all of the military departments take away any incursions by unauthorized aircraft into our training ranges or designated airspace very seriously. I believe actually this is actually I made a mistake. It comes from Pentagon spokesman. And I'll let you read that. Like I said, I'm going to post a link for everything in the description. Uh, Now, going down a little further in regards to the unidentified aerial phenomenon task force mentioned in the Times, Gold confirmed the Department of Defense is creating a task force to gain knowledge and insight into the nature and origins of UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenons, as well as their operations, capabilities, performance and or signatures. So, like I said, we've been studying this stuff. Our government has been studying this stuff for a long time, and they're just getting little bits and pieces out there, but they're not telling us the whole truth. And of course, with everything going on nowadays, we're never going to get the whole truth. Or at least I don't think so. Now, I'm going to get into some other things, but I want to show this video, parts of this video. It's from the Navy pilots who recorded the UFO videos. And I'm going to kind of see here. Let's get to the videos themselves right here. I hope y'all can see that. And we're going to talk about this. Actually, I'm going to move it up just a little bit, just so you can see it in frame. But it goes over the aircraft axis, the speed, what sit on, and everything like that. And explain everything, the altitude, everything in this. See that. Could it be someone like that? Because what if them to declassify how many aircraft are basically set to be false? Of course, UFO is kind of that. We don't know it. First, we don't. But I'm sure our government knows something about this. So I'll leave it out there. As you can see, in 2019, the Navy confirmed the 3 videos taken by Navy pilots that indeed show unexplained aerial phenomenon. And like I said, we're going to get into, let's see, where is it? like I said, with this program out there and with Trump declaring a space force, could there be a connection? Now, in this story here, by Raw Story, says Trump pledges fealty to Fox host on UFOs. I'll do whatever it takes, whatever you ask me to do, including total transparency. So, are they going to be really transparent with the technology, the UFOs? Do we have this stuff in our possession or not? Many people believe that we do have this stuff. Now, I think that's where it ends. Yeah. So, like I said, here's that report that I was talking about. I did not go to the top here, but Intelligent Authorization Act for fiscal year 2021. So, what if they said the funding dried up in 2012, but yet there's money for it going into fiscal year 2021? Did they start it up secretly again? I'll leave that up to you. Um, like I said, I'm going to leave the Times report here. And I'm not going to post this one, but I wanted to see if I could get this to go scroll down. I guess not. But everybody knows what the unmanned aerial vehicles, the military drones are, or what they look like. So could that technology come from UFO technology? Only time will tell if we actually get answers to this. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think that our government has this technology and they're just putting bits and pieces out there for us? Or do you think we don't? Do you think there's any correlation with this program and the Space Force? Let me know in the comments down below. And also, be sure to share, like this video, and with everybody that you know. And I want to thank you for watching this. Like I said, there in the description down below, there is a link for PayPal where you can donate and help me create more content such as this, as well as help me get Talking the Night back on the airways, where you can hear me interview some great guests with great topics and everything like that. So I want to thank everybody for watching. And until next time, keep looking into the paranormal, and I shall see you. Good night.